Hi. Well, hello, Miss Clara. How are you?
I am phenomenal.
Great. I'm so glad that you agreed to do this podcast on journaling. When I wrote my book and when I was thinking about who to have on, you came to mind because of the days when we were starting our businesses, you in real estate and I in business consulting, and we decided to be each other's mentor. And so one of the things you made us do, I'm saying made us, is journal. And I did not journal at the time. I didn't like it. I didn't understand it, but I did it. And I think it was very instrumental to where we are today. And,
Indeed.
right before the podcast, we were just sharing that, we're very busy and, to God be the glory, because there was a time we were trying to figure it out.
That part.
Yes. But I want to give you some time to, say what you want to say before we get into it and just introduce yourself.
Oh, wow. So, my name is Clara Lyons-Devaughn. I am an author, broker, owner of Lyons View Realty. We provide residential, commercial for small businesses and nonprofits and property management services. And I just graduated from the NARAB Black Developers Academy.
Oh,
So now I'm an investor developer. Well, I've been investing and
oh,
developing for a minute, but now I have official certification.
yes.
So I'm really excited about that. And as Dr. Davis said, we have a long history. I mean, she's one of the first people that I met when I came to New Jersey. We hit it off immediately
Yeah.
and became accountability partners in business. And as a result of that, both of our businesses have soared.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just amazing what God has done
Yeah.
for each of us. So I'm really excited to be your guest today,
Yes. Yes.
especially on this topic because it's one that's near and dear to my heart. And
Awesome. Awesome. Great. So, most people assume journaling is about recording your day. So, but can you just tell us what is it really about?
wow, journaling is about, for me, two things: release and revelation. Right. It's a
Mhm.
place where you can just let go of what's in your mind, on your brain, your dreams, your visions, your aspirations. And on the revelation side, you get to see what God is doing in your life. You get to see what He's saying to you. Like sometimes it talks, you read back what you've written and it speaks to you. It's God's way of speaking to you sometimes so you can hear it. And also, it lets you see what has happened over time. So it's both release and revelation. And it's really, not only is it cleansing,
Mhm.
but it's a good roadmap as well.
Mhm. Mhm. So I could get into my answer to this, but why do you think so many people avoid journaling, even though it is so helpful? Because I agree with everything that you said, but why do people avoid it, you think?
I think it's several things. One is trust. They don't trust themselves, what might come out on the page or what
Yeah.
they're hearing, in their head. Privacy. They don't want anybody to find what they've written. People think, oh my God, if someone finds this, it's my honest, raw thoughts about a particular thing. And sometimes we feel one way in this moment and may not feel that way in the next moment. So if somebody reads it or sees it, we've gotten over it, but it's still there. But
Mhm.
it is a definite way of release for our well being. I think the other is accountability. When you journal, it holds you accountable. When you write something down, the word says write it down and make it plain so that, the vision can be manifest. And so it's a level of accountability that sometimes people don't want to be accountable for what
Yeah.
they say, but writing it down says, hey, you actually said this, is documented that you said it, that you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So I think those are kind of some of the reasons that people kind of shy away from it. What was it for you?
For me, I wasn't at the place that I knew I wanted to be. And it just made me think about where I was.
Mm.
And I uh, didn't want to, I guess I just didn't like being in that place. Like for me, I could get up. Like I say that the Holy Spirit speaks to me early in the morning, so I leave a pad of paper by my bed, and I, make sure I get up and write down what the Holy Spirit is saying. So, so that is kind of like a journaling, but I didn't think of it that way, but when we were exercising and doing our journaling, we were journaling, where we were, where we want to be, what steps we were going to take to get there. And that's the part like some of those steps you don't like doing. And it just made me think, so that was my issue with it, I guess. One of my issues. Yeah. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah, and I think it's that way for a lot of people. We don't want to face that. Okay, I'm over 200 pounds now. Maybe I want to
yeah.
change that, or
Yes.
I'm not loving the job that I'm in. Maybe I want to change that. But I think it's good to just we call it in the International Black Summit, state the stank naked truth
Yes.
of a
Yes.
situation. You have to
Yes.
have a start point, and sometimes you might view that as a good start point.
Yes.
Sometimes you might not be happy with your start point, but
Yes.
it's good just to acknowledge it is whatever it is. If it's great, if it's not great, just
Mhm.
acknowledge it, and then you can move on from it,
Yes.
like you
Yes.
said. Yeah, I
Yes.
think that's
I
great.
agree. It worked. It worked. It wasn't, I did it because I was accountable to you. And we had weekly meetings where we went through it. So, but I agree. It is worth doing. So, what does your current journaling practice look like? Is it structured? Is it daily or more flexible?
Mine is extremely flexible. I'm a person, I have to kind of write things down as they come to me.
Hmm.
And I think I have multiple books and I have different types of books. So, like, I have a book for budgeting. So, I put all my financial stuff in that journal.
Mm-hmm.
I have a personal journal where I can, get my stank naked truths out.
Hmm.
I carry, you know,
Oh,
this one, which
okay.
fits small. It fits in my bag, and
Mhm.
um, constantly in my day, things come up that I need to do. And as I get more wise in age, I
Mhm.
can't hold all of that in my head.
Yes.
So I just write it down. I was like trying to organize it and stuff, and that was driving me crazy. So it's like, just write it down, and then you can go back and look at, oh, I was supposed to do X or Y or Z.
Hmm.
So it's just a place to capture. Journaling is just capturing information, capturing whatever. So for me, um, I have different ones for work, for projects, and for my mental health. And I've got probably, I don't know, not quite a dozen, but I have quite a few journals.
Yeah.
If I have a specific project, a big project that I'm working on, I'll create a journal for that specifically. So I can put all my notes related to that project in that place, especially for like books. You
Hmm.
know, I just want to
Yeah.
keep it together. Yeah.
So
So
that,
it's flexible.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's something, that definitely can be brought to light that you don't have to use one journal. You can have a journal for this, a journal for that, so that's interesting. You don't have to do all just one big journal. So that, yeah. So, so what other advice can you give someone who wants to start journaling but feels overwhelmed?
I would say do what works for you.
Yeah.
There is no right way to be about it. Like, if you have one place that you want to put it, if you want to do it in the morning or at night, it doesn't really matter what works for you. If you want to have multiple books,
Mhm. Mhm.
whatever works for you and whatever you're comfortable with, my only advice would be is just to start.
Yes.
You know, go get one book to start with and just start writing things down that come to you. Inspirations that you might have, things that you might need to do, whatever. It could even be a like a calendar journal. Keeping
Hmm.
your appointments is a journal. And
Yeah.
you can go back and look at, oh, when did I meet with so and so and what did we talk about, where you can put notes. So there's different types of journals. So just embrace it all, but get started. That would be my advice. Just get started. Write
Okay.
it down.
All right. And so do you? think it matters if you actually write it, or do you think that you can digitally do a journal or voice notes, or does any of that count as journaling?
That counts. That counts. There are so many tools out there. What is it? Siri and
Mhm,
Alexa.
mhm.
Um, they have reminders. So you can say, Siri, remind me to do X. That's journaling. That's, reminding you. It helps you get ahead of a moment. So you don't have to keep it in your head. You can just release it. I have a Trello. It's
Oh,
a real, yeah, I'll give them a plug. Trello is a really great place to journal for projects. You can put it in, you can send stuff to other people. You can do pictures. Pictures are journaling for those people who are or are not artistic, but they doodle. You ever doodled when you were a kid?
yeah.
You
Mhm,
drew pictures, the sun, the sky, the house,
mhm,
mom
mhm.
and dad. That's a form of journaling, with children and with adults. So it doesn't, etch a sketch pad. The only thing about etch a sketch is it's not permanent.
Right. Check
You
it.
do it, you
Yeah,
shake it and it goes away,
right.
right? So you want something, if you're going to do it digitally, that's going to be around after you put it in. But if you want to write into your phone, phones now are amazing. They have the little pens, or you can type it. I know for myself, sometimes my handwriting now is horrific, especially if I'm in a hurry.
Yeah.
So typing it is sometimes better than writing it. You can type into your computer, that can be your journal. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you do it digitally or if you do it by hand. Yeah.
Okay. So, we did a segment on vision boards. So I guess vision boards could be a
Mm.
one way of journaling.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, and those are beautiful because they're picturesque. You
Mm-hmm.
know, sometimes people use just words, sometimes they use images, but all of that is the way of capturing your thought
Mm-hmm.
and and creating a vision, or capturing your visions,
Mm-hmm.
for now or for the future. Yeah, yeah.
So I kind of remember you starting out on this journey of you adding investment to your real estate portfolio. So with that in mind, how did journaling influence those big decisions, especially in business or even in leadership?
Wow, I think journaling is a roadmap to a destination.
Mm-hmm.
I think whether it's a flip chart or a whiteboard or whatever, or your journal book, uh, it really, wow, it really, when I go back and look at some of my old journals, I really get to see what I've accomplished,
Mm-hmm.
what I wanted to do then, and that I actually did it. And sometimes you write things down and you forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good place to go back and say, wow, so I had an investment goal. I hit that investment goal. And when and I wasn't paying attention to certain things, and I went back and I was like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
this is pretty cool. It also sets a level of intentionality. So when we were working together, when you're working with an accountability partner, or even for yourself, it holds you accountable. There's the book, what is it called? The Law of Attraction. Whether you believe in that, I believe that spirit gives you what you ask for
Yeah. Yes.
most of the time, if it's in alignment with what God's purpose is for your life. So that having that level of intentionality and focus, writing it down, and it just, you can see where God's working and where you're working.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely. Yes. That's a
so
whole nother podcast.
that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
But the journaling captures it. And so if you think about the Bible it's a journal. It's
Yeah.
writing down what actually happened.
Yeah.
And then, the Old Testament is pointing to the New Testament, right? For people who are really into the Bible.
Yeah.
But there's all these types and shadows that point up to the coming of the Messiah. And so looking back at your journaling, you can see where God is working and when you're working. So you know what you did. It's like, but I didn't do X, Y, Z, and Q, but I got to here.
Yeah.
All that's God.
Yes. Yes.
All of that is, his power and majesty working in our lives. So journaling is it's a good spiritual tool. And people may not see it that way, but it is. It's a way to see our connection to something that's greater than ourselves. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's really, really a powerful tool.
I think we answered this question, but it was what kind of patterns or insights can journaling help people uncover in their decision-making process? And we
Mm,
kind of just talked about all of that. You
yeah, it really helps you focus on what you want and what you don't want.
know. Hmm. Hmm.
Both,
Yes.
you can focus on the things I want this. I don't want this. I'm here now. I don't want to be here. I want to be there. You know, God grant me vision on how to get to there.
Yeah.
It really journaling it's a focus and it's a release. I think it's really great for mental health. Sometimes we hold so much, especially as women, we hold so much and we need a place to just release it, to let it go. It's a great space for allowing ourselves grace, when we release the things that are on our minds, both good and bad, I think it's healing to journal, to release it. So now people are talking about therapy, right? Oh,
Yes.
you need to go to therapy. You need to tell somebody who can help you work through uh, your thoughts, what's going on. Well, your journal can be that as well. It's a place to start to just capture,
Yes.
release it to the page, whether you're typing it, into a digital thing or writing it into a book. Um, it's a place to just release some things, to clear space,
Hmm.
like a room. When you have too much stuff in a room, like I'm looking at this room now, it has too much stuff in it. Your brain can't function. It's like, you
Yeah.
know, I'm
Yeah.
tight. But when you clear the room, it's like, oh, I got space. I can
Oh,
stretch out,
it's good. Yes.
I have room to move when there's space.
Yes.
And journaling creates a mental space so you can think more clearly.
It unclutters the mind.
It unclutters the mind.
Unclutters the
Yes.
mind. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know you as a leader. I know you held leadership positions at church, and I know you lead a team with your realty company. So when you work with leaders, what is the biggest shift you see once they start journaling consistently? Do you see
Mm. Journaling leaves clues. It leaves clues to what you've created, what you've accomplished, and what you can improve on.
Hmm.
And in a business, that's a great performance tracker. When you get to meet with your boss at the end of the month and you say, hey, I did this, and this. I accomplished this, and this. I said I was going to do X, Y, Z, and Q. I
Hmm.
did X, Y, Z, and Q, and W,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
O, and A, B, C.
Yes. Yes.
Please provide me with my right. It's a great performance tracker for where you are, where you want to go, and where you've been. And you can now take that information and package it.
Hmm.
And it helps people really see where they can improve. You know, if they're struggling in a particular area, the journaling helps them. It's like, I was trying to achieve this, but I kept bumping up against this. So maybe they need some more skills in a particular area,
Hmm.
right, to help them get past that. Or maybe they need to partner and bring in some other resources to
Yeah.
help them in that area that is not their strength. And it's okay not to have strengths in everything.
Everything. Right.
That's why partnership is important. That's why resources are out there to help us do what we can't do on our own. So I think journaling and capturing it helps people understand and get clear about their strengths and their weaknesses, and that improves their performance in business. Yeah.
Yes. No, that's very good. Very good. So I'm gonna put my last two questions into one because I think we kind of talked about it. But what simple journaling prompt or practice can you talk about that someone could try tonight or today, and something that helps them push through their discomfort or feeling awkward about it?
A to-do list. That's the simplest form of journaling. A gratitude list. What are you grateful for today? Just write down once a day at the end of the day or first thing in the morning what you were grateful for from yesterday. Um, Gratitude just creates a whole nother space. Describing your past, describing your present and describing your future.
Mhm.
All of those are places to start. Um, Journaling your day. What, is the most important thing? What you could ask yourself every day, what is the most significant thing that happened to me today? Because
Mm.
each day is such a gift. And
Yes.
there's something in that day that was just, that did something for you. Like yesterday, um, I was I was at Burger King where I should not have been getting me some French fries because I like their French fries. And there was a man, I don't know if he was homeless or not, but he was disabled and he looked like he was homeless.
Mhm.
And so when I went in my app, it was Wednesday, so they have a thing where you could get a free Whopper. So,
Mhm.
I got the Whopper and I went through drive through and I drove back around and I wanted him to come to me, but he couldn't even get up. So I got out of my car, went over, gave him the Whopper, and it was nice and hot, and he had one hand, his other hand was something had happened to it. He started immediately unwrapping it, and then I just drove off, and so sometimes God places you, it aligns you with certain things at certain times, and you don't know why you're there. So I didn't need to be at Burger King, but
Mhm.
that's why I was there. That's why I was there. I was supposed to see that man, and
Mhm.
God said to me, you know, give him some food.
Mhm.
And who knows, that may have been what he was praying for.
Yeah.
So you never know. There's something significant. And it doesn't even have to be like a do good deed. It could be like, I walked today and it just made me feel wonderful. Or, you know, I gave somebody a compliment or somebody gave me a compliment and it really made me feel good. Whatever that, we have to be able to acknowledge at least one good thing in our day.
Yes.
One reason why we're on the planet today, because everybody didn't wake up. Everybody didn't get this gift called life, that
Yes.
we have today. So we have to be grateful and just capture something every day that was beautiful about the day, I think is a great way to start journaling.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to be on the podcast.
Um,
And I know, the things that you've talked about are going to help somebody. Actually, it's kind of helped me as we were going through it. Like, okay, well, maybe I was journaling a little bit all along and seeing things that I already do. And that's something that can account for journaling, you
mhm.
know. So that's one thing that people can look at too, that, that you may be doing some journaling, you just don't know it.
Right. You don't see it as journaling, but it is.
Journaling. So that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much, Clara.
Oh, oh, well, I wanted to say one more thing.
Yes.
Just kind of in a summary, I think that if people like take away the structure of it,
Hmm.
there are different ways to journal.
Yes.
One, set aside time to
Yeah.
do it, whether it's in the morning, in the evening, as you go throughout the day. Sometimes you can give yourself a topic to
Mm.
do. Like I just gave people, that one thing
Hmm.
that makes you happy
Hmm.
today or made you happy today. Don't worry about your grammar, your sentence structure. Nobody's going to see it but you. That's really, really important.
Important.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a reflection of insights that, you know, things that are on the inside that are coming out. And as things on the inside come out, it creates more space for
Hmm.
God to put more in you
Hmm.
to shine. So
That's huge. Get it out so the guy can put more in. You can use you. That's
he
awesome.
uses you, yes,
Yes.
yes,
That's
yeah, yeah,
awesome.
to get clarity. Yeah, it gives you more clarity for
Yeah.
sure. So that's it.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this session, and I'm surely I have other topics that you're going to be back for.
My pleasure. My pleasure. This has
And I
been great.
appreciate you so much.
I love you.
I love
Yes.
you too. Thank you.
You're welcome.